watching Exalbus Chernobyl.
That answers your question.
Hello there, and welcome back to our reaction time, because today we're going to take a look at 20 Kool-Aid flavors you won't believe exist. So, without further ado, let's get started with these flavors of Kool-Aid. And Capri-Sun too!
What's that? It's a Kool-Aid liquid. Squirt some in the water and boom, Kool-Aid.
When you have been on the market as long as Kool-Aid, you're bound to have rolled out a lot of flavors. Some of those flavors
that's
latch
a lot
on to
of
the taste buds
Kool-Aid
of the consumer
traditional
and
in my
refuse to let
fans.
go, which ensures a
Gotta love
permanent
the
place on
Kool-Aid
the shelves
stuff.
in supermarkets. Others, however, were not that fortunate and soon disappeared. We're digging deep for those lost relics to unearth the 20 Kool-Aid flavors you won't believe exist.
Well, people get freaked out when you drink from your own head.
Eerie Orange Kool-Aid.
You want an apple, or do you want an orange?
Eerie Orange was one of those products that only a few consumers had access to. In this case, it was released only in the Canadian market in 1996. To be fair, it wasn't a new flavor or anything. It was just a repackaging of an existing flavor. And if you're wondering as for the reason for this subterfuge, you need only look at the name for a clue. It was Halloween season, and kids needed something spooky
Halloween!
for some serious
How very
trick-or-treating. And because of its
traditional.
ephemeral nature,
Is it
Eerie
still
Orange soon vanished into the night,
looking
never
really
to be heard
Eerie
from
Orange?
again. Sometimes we stay up at night thinking of Eerie Orange and what could have been if it had just managed to survive that fateful Halloween.
Here's what I think of this orange juice.
Pink Swamingo Kool-Aid. When you have a name like Pink Swamingo, it
I
doesn't
am
matter
Miss
what
DF
flavor
teacher,
or taste
everyone.
you carry inside the package. The name
look
alone brings joy
fabulous.
to the drinker. But Pink Swamingo packs a joyous
That's still
flavor as
a
well.
little bit
It tastes like
exchangeable.
cherry watermelon, and the bright, cheerful color will make
That's
your
still
heart
very
dance.
cheerful to
That is,
mine.
if you can get your hands on a box of the colorful drink. Sadly, the pink one was available to children in the 90s and didn't last long enough to see the glorious new century we live in. But take heart. If you can't
Wow,
have Pink Swamingo,
that's really
the
hard
cherry
to
watermelon
tell.
flavor is
Give
still
me
sold
that.
today. Not under the same name, though.
Same.
Let's do with this flamingo on
Swirlin'
flamingo.
Strawberry Starfruit Kool-Aid. When you have a cool name like Swirlin' Strawberry Starfruit, then the flavors in the packets are supposed to explode
Ooh,
on your
still
tongue.
got all
Between
of that.
rainbows and fireworks,
live in a
your mouth
galaxy
will have
far,
a part
far
of it.
away.
Unfortunately, the combination of strawberry
That
and
still's a lot
starfruit
about
couldn't quite cut
starfruit.
it with the thirsty customers. And after a brief limited release, it was pulled off the shelves. These days, you need to scour eBay to find a box of the rare flavor.
That's a lot of boxes in that.
Oranges and bananas.
Great Blue Kool-Aid.
Look into my eyes and sleep.
The one thing really going for this Kool-Aid flavor is the fact that it's unsweetened. So if you're
that's
worried about
really
your children's
magic.
daily sugar intake, this one
You
will
know
put your mind at
Houdini
ease.
is
But
a
other than that,
Blue
there's
Dee.
nothing exceptional about it. The citric base and artificial flavors
That's
don't distinguish this
magic.
product in any way. The color, though, is a different story. When you mix the contents of the packet
That's
with
a lot
water,
of good
the color
magic,
will change.
Timon.
You get a combination of yellow and blue, which for some reason doesn't turn into green as one would expect. The new color is perhaps why anyone would want to try this flavor.
Oh yeah.
Incrediberry Kool-Aid.
Oh, hello.
This was Kool-Aid's take on comic books and superheroes of the time. It made its first appearance in the early 90s and featured Kool-Aid
That's
Man
still
dressed as a
incredible.
superhero, looking jacked. And if the
Still
name
got
didn't
the
tip you
super
off,
strength
this
of that
packet
power.
was all about berries.
Good
you can see
attitude.
a blob next to Kool-Aid Man that represents some sort of a berry. That berry dwarfs Kool-Aid Man, which
Very
implies that the
intense.
berry flavors are strong in this one. You'd need to add sugar and water
Still
to
got
get
the
those
more
flavors
sugar
out in the
than
open,
that.
though. It was also strong
That's
on
still
vitamin
got the
C,
energy
so
of that
that's
drink.
something else going
That
for
goes
it.
in a little bit
Unfortunately,
juicy.
neither of those things saved the product from an untimely demise.
You got me, partner.
Oh yeah, orange pineapple
Oh
Kool-Aid.
yeah!
Pineapple under the sea.
Another relic from the 1990s, which makes one almost envious of the kids who grew up in that era. Or maybe they were not
There's
easy
still
to
a little bit
satisfy,
kids
which would explain
here
all the
in
new
Kool-Aid
flavors
flavors to
Kool-Aid had to roll
choose.
out and test. Now, you're supposed to shout, "Oh yeah," or
Oh,
pineapple
yeah.
when you took the first sip of the drink. As At least that's what the jovial name suggests. But we're
Now
not
that's
really
what I
sure
call
that
it, a
orange and
Kool-Aid
pineapple
style.
go together, which everybody seemed to agree on back then. So naturally, the new flavor didn't last long on the shelves and soon disappeared from the market. Purplesaurus Rex Kool-Aid.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
When Kool-Aid saw that dinosaurs were big among kids in the 80s,
Barney,
this was
huh?
their response. The flavors here
Very.
are grape and lemonade.
Very
Hardly Jurassic, but what you lack in
got the
authenticity,
purple
you can make
dinosaur
up
like
for in
Barney
design.
does.
There's a purple dinosaur eating grapes on the packet, which should tell you all you need to know.
Wow.
To be fair, grape has
That's
never been the kind of
fantastic.
flavor that drew new customers or appealed to old ones either. And as soon as the Jurassic era was replaced with the next big thing, culturally speaking, Purplesaurus Rex went extinct.
We're gonna make a fortune with this place.
Strawberry Falls
my.
Punch Kool-Aid.
A waterfall.
Like grapes, strawberry is one of those fruits whose natural taste has
know.
little to do with
That
the juice
still
that
exists
food
about the
companies manage to
flavors
squeeze
still
out of
about
it.
it.
Sometimes strawberry on its own is not the best of flavors. But maybe the 80s was a time of experimentation at Kool-Aid, or the era was just welcoming and people were open to trying anything new. Who knows? One thing is for sure, though, Strawberry Falls Punch couldn't deliver and was soon part of the company's history that nobody liked to talk about.
That's a little bit of history on
Crocodile
that.
Red Kool-Aid.
You okay there, Mr. Crocodile?
Another flavor that was more about the mascot
Ooh,
on the
a
package
crocodile
than a
red.
new and explosive
Like a
flavor in
crocodile.
service. It's like when a company tries to cash in on a fad, and when the fad fades into obscurity, the company pulls the product and hopes everyone will forget about it soon.
Ooh,
Crocodile
that's
Red is
still
about a
a
couple of
little bit of
mascots that were
flavors on
supposed
rock
to be
and roll.
sidekicks to the main character Kool-Aid
Go
Man.
rock and
The
roll for
sidekicks
the
were flashy,
crocodile.
but didn't have the drawing power of the dashing superstar. The red in the name, however, referred to the berries, grapes, and cherries that came together to create a cool flavor.
Yeah, there you go.
Tamarindo Kool-Aid. One thing about Kool-Aid is that it's more than just a fruity drink. You can just about do anything you like with that small packet of powder. I mean,
That's
people
still
dye
got
their
the
hair
new
with the bright
flavor.
hues of Kool-Aid,
That's
which
still a little
probably
bit older
explains
than
why
that.
this specific flavor is quite popular. Not to make a pitcher of cold fruit juice, but rather to make a dessert. If you like to make snow cones, Tamarindo will make the perfect syrup for your dessert. But that doesn't mean that some
That's
customers
still a
don't
little bit
prefer it as a
hot.
juice. It's still popular,
Still a
and
little bit
people rave about the
thirsty.
green color and the exquisite flavor.
Hate me because of the brightness of my skin.
Surfin' Berry Punch Kool-Aid.
All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
The last time Surfin' Berry Punch was seen cresting that high wave was in the early
Ooh.
1990s. It was in
That's still gone
1987
now.
when the not-so-famous surfer made its debut. Almost immediately, it climbed the
Still
steep
got a lot
pinnacles
of
of
little bit
success.
debut on
Maybe
that.
it was the flavor of wild berries
Still
that
a little
swept
bit
people
surfing
off their
than
feet
this.
and splashed their
Surf's
faces
up.
with the cool spray of the ocean.
I think
Or
shall
maybe
be
it was something
coming.
else. What is known is that by the end of the year, Surfin' Berry Punch was no longer the favorite flavor that Kool-Aid fans were raving about. Even the purple powder that turned red once it hit the water had failed to capture a permanent place in people's hearts.
Ooh,
You gave me was a lifesaver
still
last
got the
night.
flavor.
Arctic Green Apple Kool-Aid.
Welcome to the Himalayas!
This so popular that when it disappeared
Ooh, the
from the
Yeti.
market, people launched many campaigns to bring it back, which is
Well,
not so
still
uncommon
gone
among
now.
food products that for some reason or another get discontinued. And even for years
Still a
after the
little bit
product was no longer
discontinued, but
available in
exists.
stores, you could still buy it online. This has to do with the long shelf life of Kool-Aid. Anyone who has a few boxes of the product will store them and wait for the price to go up once they become rare.
Ooh,
and reading the online
that's a
reviews
little
and how
bit
people miss the
rare.
flavor makes one question
Really?
the logic behind Kraft pulling the popular flavor off the market.
Vented cans at half price.
Mano Mango Berry Kool-Aid.
Would you like to try our mango fruit blast?
People feel so strongly about this one that there are Facebook campaigns to bring it
Wow,
back. Sadly,
that's
the only
a
place
lot
you
of
can find it now
Kool-Aid to
is on
their
eBay.
twist,
Rare
Kiff.
boxes of Mano Mango
know,
Berry
Miss
sell
Dear.
for top
I
dollar.
know what
Now,
they
it's not
say.
clear if those who buy them would drink
I
them
think
or
they'll
not.
be
Most
coming
likely
through
they're
the
collectibles.
edge
And
when
even
you
after the
success.
powder has expired, its proud owners would still display it
That
as
still
one of their
exists.
most valuable possessions.
It is his passion.
Rainbow Punch Kool-Aid.
We're gonna get to the end of the rainbow.
a popular flavor from the mid-'80s. In fact, this one is so popular these days, it's not hard to find a package on eBay. It belongs to the Punch family of Kool-Aid, and collectors fancy these flavors. And it's not just the flavors of the family that still bring a strong tone of nostalgia whenever the name is mentioned. The design of the packages is also a throwback to an era before digital media and Photoshop took over. It's probably the same reason early editions of comic books fetch high prices among collectors. But whatever the motivation behind their popularity, if you can get your hands on this popular flavor, treasure it. Solar Strawberry Starfruit Kool-Aid.
Space, the final frontier.
See that starfruit on the package? It's
Ooh,
the star
that's
of
a
the
lot
show.
of good
The theme of this
catchphrase.
flavor is space
Still
travel.
long
and
live
it
the
has a
galaxy
futuristic
bonfire
design about it
lit.
that makes it a favorite among fans.
That still's
it's not
coming.
clear how much the starfruit added to the taste
Still a
here,
little bit
but we're
galactic
guessing it
in
didn't
this.
go well with strawberry. In either case, it only made a brief appearance before it was blasted off to the archives. Not many people remember it today, and there are no campaigns to bring it back. Yet fans of Kool-Aid and its short-lived products collect this one like baseball cards in bygone times.
Get him a uniform.
Golden Nectar Kool-Aid.
I love gold.
As soon as you see the word nectar on
You
the
say
package,
you gotta
know
get
this
gold.
must be a unique flavor. It's not clear
That's
what
a
went into
golden
this one
nectar
anyway.
that's
It
coming
dates back
by.
to the 1950s. So as far as the oldie but goodie is concerned, this one takes the cake. Just look at the design here and the excited children running to have a taste. Takes you back to a simpler time when stick figures were all the graphic design you needed to sell your product.
And I've got the deal of a lifetime for you. Do you have a minute?
Scary Black Cherry and
Scary Blackberry Kool-Aid.
I got it wrong.
It seems that every Halloween, Kool-Aid would dish out a
not
limited
gonna
edition of a
Halloween
scary flavor
until
that's actually a
you
repackaging of an
further
already
notice.
existing flavor. But it
Very
seemed to sell
spooky.
well, and the customers didn't mind. And there was something about Black Cherry that made it appeal to both children and grown-ups around this time of year. Of course, these flavors are still around under different names. But how exactly did they taste back then
That feels
is
a little
anyone's
bit
guess. I don't think that even
scary.
getting one on eBay would help solve this
Ooh.
mystery. It's way past its
That's
expiration
way
date
even
anyway.
better.
I'm the first to enter eternity.
Jamaica Kool-Aid. Hibiscus is a vibrant flower. It has a tangy taste that is easy to
That's a little
distinguish.
bit
But the bright
bit
color
tastier
produces
than
when you mix
things.
it with water.
Give
makes
me
Jamaica
some,
one
give
of
me
the most
some.
sought-after flavors. As we mentioned before, you can do a lot with the right packet of Kool-Aid. And this one is one of the
Very
most versatile
sassy.
packets you can get your hands on. It's even advertised as a product that you can use for just about anything you can think of. That bright red color is just as good in coloring food as it is in creating
I know
the
what
right
they have in the
highlights in your
secret
hair.
that is.
Charcoalberry Fin Kool-Aid.
Ooh, come on, a shark to
Really
do
sure
do
what's
do
going
do.
on here. Is that
Hey,
a shark?
what's
And
that?
is the pitcher riding the shark? We know there are berries in there somewhere, but what's with the fin?
But
So
what's
many
going on
questions
with that
and
fin,
so few
too?
answers. Yet this classic flavor has been around for decades. It must be doing something right because people, it seems, can't
Ooh,
get enough
I
of those
can
berries.
barely watch
As for the
this
design,
out.
which has remained basically
glad
the
I'm gonna
same
came out
since its
from this
inception,
time.
it just implies that the flavor
That
will give
still's
you
a
the
little bit
same
funnier.
sensations as riding a shark in the open ocean, which at some point was
Yeah.
probably the pinnacle
I'm
of
afraid of
adventure.
these
Not that
sharks.
we're judging or
But I'm
anything.
even a Sousaphone Simon.
Root beer Kool-Aid.
You had me at the beer park, but you lost me at root.
People say you can't go wrong with root beer. Most people would agree with that statement, except those with a dislike
know
of this
about
popular
this.
soda flavor.
Still
The
a lot
key
of
word
good
there
root beer
is
in
soda.
this.
A nice mug of frosted root beer or a root
But
beer ice cream float
that's
all sound
excessively
delicious
wrong.
and refreshing. However, the first thing
That
to come to
sounds
mind when
refreshing
talking
to
about root
mine.
beer is definitely not Kool-Aid. Well, at one time back in the 1970s, Kool-Aid thought a root beer flavor would be a good idea. That fad seemed to pass as the product didn't last too long. I guess people realized that if they wanted the taste of root beer,
That
they
still
wanted the
persists.
bubbles to go with it, and Kool-Aid does not deliver on the bubble front. This sounds more like a soda that's just gone flat. The one thing that this flavor did have going for it was the ability to make homemade root beer popsicles.
Well, there you have it. See you tomorrow. And don't get the Capri-Sun done.
Thanks for watching. Have fun day at the summer. Bye bye.